Guardians, what's going on? Blue Knight here. I just soloed the HyperNet current GM, and I want to go over the build that I used to complete it. Let's go over the subclass real quick. We're using Well of Radiance, Healing Rift, Burst Glide, Celestial Fire. There's a reason we're using this. And then Healing Grenade. I want maximum healing. I do stupid stuff, and or stuff might happen that is unseen, unforeseen in the GM. So plenty of healing options here to make sure you stay alive, because honestly, it's just about the completion. And then Celestial Fire for the ranged melee, which we'll go over in the seasonal artifact aspects. Mine never change unless they are unless I'm going to PvP. So we've got Touch of Flame and Heat Rises. Heat Rises, main reason why I use it is because we can fire weapons, melee, and throw grenades while gliding. And then Touch of Flame, so that way we get Restoration ×2 with our Healing Grenade. On to the fragments. The first two kind of synergize, and a lot of stuff in our build synergizes, so I'll be saying that word a bunch. So just be prepared for that. But we've got Ember of Ashes and Ember of Char. So we spread more Scorch. And then your solar ignitions spread more Scorch to affected targets. We're using Polaris Lance, so every fourth precision hit loads an explosive shot after you shoot that explosive shot 8 out of 10 times, 7 to 8 out of 10 times with Ember of Ashes on, you're going to get an ignition. So Ember of Ashes is very good to have on with Polaris Lance. We've got Ember of Searing. Defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire sprite. So we get our melee energy back from defeating scorched targets, which we are going to be doing with Polaris Lance, as well as just being radiant, and that's more stuff in the seasonal artifact. And then fire sprites give you some grenade energy, so it just gives us our healing grenade back faster. And then Ember of Singeing, your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. We are going to be scorching a lot of targets, so our class ability is gonna come back faster, thus more healing. Let's go over the weapons now. So first, we're using Battle Scar, Shoot to Loot Kinetic Tremors. In my opinion, this is the god roll. This is the roll that everyone needs to have. I was using Battle Scar for the longest time with Keep Away Kinetic Tremors. Not a horrible roll. I finally got one, Shoot to Loot Kinetic Tremors. You can get Battle Scars from Legendary Engrams. So anywhere that you can earn Legendary Engrams, you can get a Battle Scar. If you get either one of these rolls, anything with Kinetic Tremors, honestly, keep it. Kinetic Tremors is such a good perk. It's more damage to not only bosses and vehicles and champions, but to anything with the health pool to be able to proc Kinetic Tremors on. It takes like 10 to 15 rounds, hits, I should say, with the pulse rifles to proc Kinetic Tremors. So this is a 3-round burst. It takes 4 to 5 bursts, and you get like 10 bursts in a magazine, so you can proc Kinetic Tremors twice per mag with the Battle Scar. It's amazing. While Kinetic Tremors is going off, you can reload and you're still outputting damage with Kinetic Tremors. So very nice perk to have. Other honorable mentions, I crafted this Peace of Mind in order to try and use it in this GM. Unfortunately, it didn't work out very well. I mean, it works, don't get me wrong. Vorpal is a great weapon, or a great perk to have. The reason why I did Perpetual Vorpal is so that way I get faster reloads whenever I'm moving. And then Vorpal weapon, it just does more damage to bosses, champions, and vehicles. But Kinetic Tremors still does more. So if you've got something with Kinetic Tremors, I would use that. I personally rather use pulse rifles. Auto rifles, it seems like with the Overload auto rifle, Overload pulse rifle perks, it almost seems like it takes longer for auto rifles to proc the Overload stun than pulse rifles. That's why I'd rather use pulse rifles, especially in this GM. There's only 5 Overload champions, but they shoot those defense swarms or whatever, so you want to stun them super fast. You don't just want to piss them off, because then they're just going to keep launching stuff at you. So I personally choose pulse rifles. But Fell Taradiddle, Raconteur, both of these with the seasonal artifact can stun unstops. So, you know, we've got overload stuns and unstop stuns both available for our kinetic slot. You know, run what you want. My bows consist of, as you can see, shoot to loot, explosive head, just because shoot to loot picks up stuff and reloads all your weapons. And then explosive head does, you know, 13 to 10% more damage, 13% more body shot damage, 10% more crit damage. So it's just more damage. Onto the secondary weapon, the energy weapon. I know people are going to be like, oh man, Polaris Lance. Wow, another build with Polaris Lance. Yes, when Bungie gives us a seasonal artifact that has a lot of things or a few things based on precision hits, but then also Polaris Lances based on precision hits, it just synergy. Okay? It just does well together. If you don't know Polaris Lance, precision hits return ammo to the magazine, landing 4 precision hits, load a delayed solar explosive round that scorches targets on your next shot. We're applying more scorch. That's why we can, I think it applies like 6 to 8 stacks by itself. With the more scorch, 10 stacks will cause an ignition. More than likely, you know, like I said, 7 to 8 times out of 10, we're going to be causing an ignition with one of the explosive rounds. And then the catalyst just gives it Dragonfly, which, as long as we are radiant, solar precision final blows cause combatants to ignite anyway, but it's a good thing to have when not in season 23. Other honorable mentions: if you don't want to use an exotic, or if you still want to use an exotic, energy weapon, Sunshot, very good, but it does cause you to be up close and personal. Plus, you can stun unstops with hand cannons, so it's just, you know, both of these options are very good. I personally would run Epical over Sunshot for this, just because it's not exotic, and I could use something like Dragon's Breath in my heavy weapon. But another pulse rifle, say if you want to run Felteradiddle or Raconteur or some other bow or whatever in your primary slot, and you wanted to run Dragon's Breath in your heavy slot, well, the BXR pulse rifle, because of this, we can stun overloads. No, there isn't really any extra damage, but it is a very good weapon. It has a very good range. It has incandescence, so it spreads scorch. It's just a very good weapon to use. And so, yeah. And then onto the heavy, we used fixed odds. Other honorable mentions could be a Mercado. I just got this one with Demolitionist Hatchetling. Hatchling, not a bad role for a Strand build, in my opinion, for at least for ad clear Strand role. And then I'm going to be doing this GM on Stasis as well, so you're going to see some recurrent impact in Quillam's Terminus, and or I just need to go craft the recurrent impact that I want, and then more than likely I'll be using this. Onto the artifact. We are utilizing, in the first column, we're only utilizing Overload Pulse Rifle for what we did run. The second column, we are utilizing From Whence You Came. After you defeat the Tormentor, pretty much everything from then on is going to be taken, so it increases ability damage to taken and scorn combatants. We might as well use it. And then Kindling Trigger. Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combatants. Well of Radiance makes us radiant, so we can apply Scorch to things. When we Scorch targets, our class ability recharges faster. When we defeat Scorch combatants, our melee energy comes back faster, and we create a Fire Sprite, which helps us get our grenade back faster. So there's all 3 of our main abilities are coming back from one weapon, which is why Polaris Lance is in such a stupid spot right now. Third column, we got Heart of the Flame. Casting a solar super grants nearby allies radiant, increases the damage of your super for nearby allies. If you are not running the solo, I highly suggest running this, but we're not going to be utilizing that. We are utilizing, however, Flint Striker. Rapid solar weapon precision hits and rapid solar weapon final blows grant radiant. This is primarily how we're going to be making ourselves radiant with Polaris Lance outside of Well of Radiance. And then Wished into Being, while your super is nearly fully charged, ability final blow spawn orbs of power. It's just to help us get our super back faster. But the only ability that we have that causes damage, or that could kill, in my opinion, is our melee, which is why we're using it. This is not a orb creation build. We're not going to be creating orbs with weapon kills or anything like that. So this is the only way that we could create an orb, but we don't need it with the exotics that we're running, in my opinion. The fourth column, the only thing we've got here, and it's a must-have, is Revitalizing Blast. This is why we want Celestial Fire for the ranged solar ability, because it weakens champions and bosses for a short duration. It's a very good thing to have. And then onto the fifth column, the two that we are utilizing is Raise of Precision, while Radiant, Solar Precision, Final Blows cause combatants to ignite. We've got stuff in our subclass about ignitions. So we're going to be Radiant quite a bit because of Polaris Lance. It's a precision-based weapon. Synergy, again, just, yeah. And then Solar Operative, while you're the only member of your fire team, you deal increased damage to all combatants. We are going to be doing this solo, so that is a must-have. On to the armor. Let's go over the exotic chest piece, what it does. So kills and assists you make while standing in your well of radiance return super energy. This is the new must-have post Starfire Protocol nerf. 6 out of 10 times I'm running this. It's between this and Dawn Chorus, depending on if I want to be a support warlock or a DPS warlock. But for this, we want to support ourselves, so we're going to be using Phoenix Protocol. Let's go over the mods. On the helmet, or first, what I would suggest you getting to 100 first. Resilience. Always get your resilience to 100 first. I could have had a 91 recovery, but it's not. I think, 29% of a recovery rate is good, and you'll see in the video that it does work. So if you want that extra little bit of a cushion, don't worry about mobility, or I could not worry about mobility and put it into recovery and just get that 34% recovery rate. But we can move a little bit faster, and we can recover plenty of health. I intrinsically have 101 discipline based on the plus 10 discipline for member of Char, and then all of my my armors and stuff. So let's go over the harmonic targeting, or the mods here. We're using harmonic targeting, so that way it'll help us hit those headshots, those crit shots with Polaris Lance. Heavy ammo finder. So down at the bottom, primary ammo weapons, especially exotic weapon, final blows help you find ammo more quickly. We're going to be using Polaris Lance. Synergy. Just everything plays well with each other. Dynamo. In the last GM, I used this quite a bit, so I was like, hey, for this GM, I'm going to do this. Well, I maybe only used it once or twice, but it's a good thing to have, in my opinion. Onto the gauntlets. We're using double focusing strike, so it grants class ability energy when you cause damage with the powered melee attack. We're going to be getting our melee back from defeating scorched targets, which it's just, again, synergy. We want the fastest route to getting our abilities back, just in case if we need them. And then we've got Harmonic Loader, increases reload speed of solar weapons. Both weapons that we are primarily going to be using are solar. Yes, we do have the holsters, but we will be reloading, so we might as well run a Harmonic Loader. Onto the chest piece. I would recommend, if you're not used to this one, I would recommend running one of each. So one arc, one void, one solar. There is a little bit of everything in this GM. I'll go through, you'll see in the video, I'll go through, hey, I'm running double void, single arc. This is what we need to be careful of in this section if you are running these mods. To be even safer, though, like I said, one of each. I would change this to solar, but this works pretty well for me. Onto the boots, we've got Harmonic Scavenger, so when we use Polaris Lance to make a heavy brick, when we pick it up, we get more ammo. Solar Holster and Kinetic Holster, both of these are just so that way we have less time reloading both of our, or all of our weapons, but if anything, I would get rid of Kinetic Holster and do another Solar Holster, but to all their own, use what you want to use. This is just how I ran it. And then on the Bond, we've got Double Bomber, so reduces grenade cooldown when using your class ability. synergy. We're just trying to get everything back faster. We're getting our class ability back faster when we scorch targets. So whenever we use our class ability, it helps us get our grenade back faster. Our grenade is also getting back faster from fire sprites. It just, everything works together. And then outreach reduces melee cooldown when using your class ability. That's just, again, synergy. That's how we're trying to get all of our perks back as fast as we can, or all of our abilities back as fast as we can. All right, I believe that is it. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. All right, so this is another voiceover. I'm going to try and stay consistent with how far away from my mic I am, because sometimes I'll lean back in my chair, sometimes I'll sit forward in my chair. So I just kind of want to give you guys more consistency. Also, I'm recording this on lossless quality. Just the video for doing the GM is 287 gigs, but it looks really good. So here at the beginning, we're going to not step out of this little cave. We're just going to shoot everything we can. I'll proc and I'll get an explosive shot ready, and then I have to turn down the video a little bit. It's a little loud. Okay. I'll proc an explosive shot and then try to shoot it at something else to do, to cause ignitions on something that I haven't damaged yet. But here, there's just going to be a bunch of these hounds that chase you. We're just going to take them all out. I believe, so I did this run. Yep. Okay. I was going to say, I did this run paying attention, but not really paying attention. I had no idea that War Beast was there. He just kind of popped up in front of me. Hindsight's 2020. I saw him on my right before, but anyway, like I said before, this GM is more based on range. If you don't push all the way up the ramp here, the guys up top and the guys to the left will not shoot at you. So stay on the ramp. See there, I procced an explosive shot and then shot it up top, and the only person that was left was the honored Centurion. I missed that explosive shot somehow. I thought that it hit him. Get all these guys blowing up. There we go. There's the, I mean, we didn't use any abilities, but you see all the fire sprites we're creating. The ability to get our energy back fast is super good. This section, we're going to jump up here. We're going to well, and then I hit the wrong button there. And for some reason, my kinetic was out. But we're going to take out some of these guys. I saw that the ignition was going to stun him, so let's just ugga-dugga him down a little bit. I do have to reload that, so I'm going to swap to Polaris Lance, try and get an ignition off. When the incinerators do that little charge-up thing, they will push you backwards. So I will just hold W, run at them, or walk at them, and then when I get booped back, it doesn't put me back as far. I was fortunate enough to get that Minotaur that drops those Arc Craniums. I was lucky enough to get him to come close to me, so that way I could use it to take out that first guy. We already have our super back. I don't need it, though. There's plenty of enemies in here. I could use it. We're not going to be using it for a little bit, but I'd rather have it just in case. I see this guy is finishable. We might as well just take him out there. He's going to do the boop thing, and I really don't want him to boop us off the map. I am not going to tell you how many times I died to being booped off the map. There, I saw that I only needed one more shot to proc the explosive shot, so I did that, then shot the guy and ignored him. There's a guy over here to the right. They like to hide back here, so do be careful about that, because they will, sneak up on you. These Scorpius turrets will spawn in. You can take them. You can take out the first one before it sees you. The second one, I wanted to see how much ammo I had there, but the second one here, as long as you don't go up the little ramp in front of you, it won't shoot at you. Here, the only thing you really have to worry about are the Legionaries. You can take out the Legionaries, and nothing else will hurt you. I mean, whatever the heck these guys are called, the Butchers, I call them gladiators, they're melee based, so you can stay up like I am and bully them, or you can get down in their face and 1v1 them, or you can just go on with the objective. These are not recommended kills. I just do it to see if I can create any more heavy ammo. That right there was where I learned that kinetic tremors didn't proc on the person. They procced on the ground where the person was. I jump up a little bit too far here. If you jump on this shelf, and don't go too far forward, but if you jump up on this shelf, then you can take out the Scorpius turrets there. Proc explosive shot, went over to the other one. I'm not going to be able to save the explosive shot. They run out after like 10 seconds of being in the weapon, so might as well use it. Here, we're going to run over to the right. We're going to jump up here. Going to get this ready. All right, this area. Be careful of the snipers. The Scions are your worst enemy. They will do so much damage to you. Plus, they're annoying because they have those little void boopy grenades. So we just take stuff out. Again, those Scions are going to be your worst enemy. I saw that guy going right. I tried to get the ignition off on him. It ended up working out. Sometimes there are 2 Scions down on the left here. There we go. There's 3 this time. I was able to get enough damage on the other one, but he does retreat. There's the Tormentor. So here I tried to proc the explosive shot and then shoot it at one of the other groups of Legionaries and Incinerators. That way I don't have to worry about them later. Plus I'm trying to use this weapon a lot so that way I can get heavy ammo. You can hear the Scions shooting at you. Those do count as precision hits, so you can proc an explosive round off of those little shieldy boys. I waited a little bit there to proc the explosive shot and to get this guy, but there we go. He is stunned, and then we're just going to focus on this guy. The main objective when you well is to take out the Incinerators, the Unstops. There are 2 of them. One when the Tormentor spawns in, and the second one comes in when you get the Tormentor to have health. That's why we want to do that. That guy's taken out. I realize I'm getting shot at by the right from the Centurion, so we take him out too real quick. Before the well runs out, I get back to safety. You can stun lock the Tormentor if you're better than I. I'm just not that good at hitting crit shots. So if you can continue to stun this guy, or if you can continue to hit crits on the guy and make him ignite, it will, you know, cause him to be stun locked. I try to do that here a little bit. We're able to do it just for a little bit. I try to move out of the way of that. I can't take another one, so I have to stop. Even with double void damage reduction on, if you get hit twice by those attacks by the Tormentor, it will kill you. So just be careful about that. If you get hit with one, if you have 1 damage reduction on and you get hit with one of them, it'll put you down to 1 HP. So you can still take more, but this is primarily why I have the void damage reduction on. Is this and one other section, but we'll get there. So here, I'm just trying to proc explosive shot as much as I can on the Tormentor. Don't be afraid to use your heavy. I was going to hard peek there, and then I realized that there were a bunch of Cabal. I'm trying to become Radiant and take them out and let the Ignitions and Scorch take everything out, but it's not working out that well. Hit a quick reload there when we crouch with the reserves on, or not reserves, the perk on the weapon. Can't remember it right now, or I can't think of it right now. All right, all those Cabal are taken out. Now it's just us and the boss. I'm trying to make sure about that, though, here. Some people can hide behind the Blight, so I go far right and see if there's anybody back there. I go far left, see if there's anybody back there. The Tormentor did jump up. If he does that, though, just sit up top here. Usually, he'll jump back down immediately. For some reason here, he doesn't. So I'm like, all right, well, he doesn't want to move down. This is me using heat rises to run away from him. I'm trying to get him off of my high ground. So there he goes. I can tell that he's getting ready to jump back down. I thought he was. Do a little bit of damage to him. He goes to dive me there. I'm just going to take some cover from... There are things behind, as you can see. There's one Legionary. He does jump down, so I'm able to just jump right back up there. If the Tormentor does come up, like I said, normally if you jump on top of the column up here, they will go away. But if they don't, just make sure everything's dead around the low ground, and then jump around and get him off of your shelf. So here, that was good damage. Here's the other overload, or unstop, I'm sorry. So I was not able to proc the ignitions quickly here, so there are quite a bit of ads that we have to take care of. But when in a third person camera view, I had to think about that for a second. When in a third person camera view, use it to look and see what's down there. That's why you see me look down right. It's because I'm using the peripheral vision of the camera angle to see everything. So third person is going to be your friend in this GM quite a bit, in my opinion. I see that Well is getting ready to end, so I just decide not to push him, just back up. The reason why we want to take out all the ads is because if the Tormentor does come up here and we have to jump on top of the column, there is no cover up there, so we are open to all of the ads that are down there. I thought he was going to push me here. It looked like he was because he was running right at me. He didn't. Kinetic Tremors. I believe I used Kinetic Tremors for a little bit on this guy. They do like 600 damage, so don't be afraid of using your heavy here. I'm out of heavy ammo. Honestly, I would suggest leaving, maybe one magazine. I wasn't paying attention and used it all. So not the best, but it is what it is. So again, don't expect the Tormentor to do the same things to you that he does with me. It just... even every run that I did, I probably tried this 10 times and got it on my 10th try. And here's Kinetic Tremors. 675. Not horrible, but not the best. And it doesn't proc. Even if you proc it on all crit shots, it still doesn't crit. But anyway, we're just going to melt him down. Yeah, don't expect everything that you see here to happen with you. It took me about 10 times. I finally got it, doing little tweaks and changes to the build along the way, and this is the build that kind of helped me do it all. I know that there are people down to the left. Somehow I got heavy ammo there. I have no idea how. I had 0 heavy ammo. There was no heavy ammo up here, and I got it. I'm not going to complain, though. We're just going to start taking out all the ads. Like I said, the reason why we want to take them out is so that way we can go up on this column that I'm going to jump up on top of now, and not everything and their mother's going to shoot at us. So here, I know to throw the grenade because I'm going to tank that just to take them out as fast as I can. There's a Cabal down there, but I'm not worried about it. Shoot to loot wasn't working there because I was hitting something. I was hitting those tangles. We've got 175 rounds to take with us to the next section. Not horrible, but that entire section, just stay up top. If the Tormentor jumps up to you, jump down or run away or go up high. They're not that big of a threat. This section, don't jump off of the big jump. I'll show you. So we'll get Polaris slants out here, and we just kind of work our way to this next part. You might see me stop sometimes. I'm talking to my daughter while I'm doing this. So like here, I'm stopped. I was talking to my daughter. So there we go. We're going to take the farther unstopped phalanx out first because they are the most annoying. There's no cover down below, so when you jump down, they just have free reign to shoot you. I wanted to take out the other phalanxes first because of the void little eyeballs that they shoot. Super annoying. You're gonna have to be careful about those in the boss room, but relatively easy. There we go. That guy's taken out, and he did drop some heavy ammo. We're going to go ahead and pick that up before it falls off the map somehow. I'm waiting to see if that other unstop will peek, and he doesn't, so we're just going to jump down here. I see that guy close, so I'm going to swap to my heavy. We did get hit by that Axiom dart, but I didn't see it in the moment. We're going to swap back to Polaris Lance, try and get an ignition off on this guy as soon as we can. There we go. We're just going to keep focusing him. We're going to weaken him there. And there we go. He has been taken out. If he was not lower HP before we went up there, he would have just pushed us and probably owned us. So just make sure they're pretty low before you go up there. I try to kill them before going down, but it's not a necessity. Just try and get them lower than full HP. If you walk over here to the right underneath this blight, both of the phalanxes, you're close enough for the phalanxes to push you, technically. So they will just kind of move out of cover here, and I'll be able to take them out. Polaris is just a fun and interactive weapon to use, isn't it? There we go. All right. Unstop's taken out. Now we're going to jump up here. Be careful of these blights. Those are the same blights that the boss shoots. Be careful about those. They are arc damage. They will almost one-shot you. With one arc damage resistance on, it'll leave you at like 5 HP. Take this Minotaur out. All right, use this cannon to take out the blights. Don't worry about the ads right now. Take out the blights. You see that there are 2 Minotaurs. One of them was shooting at me. The Minotaur that spawns on the left up there is the Arc Cranium that will stay after you destroy all the blights. But I do it this way, so there's never any guesswork to it. Become Radiant. I missed that explosive shot. Become Radiant, and then everything will explode. I have an explosive shot here that kind of takes everything out down there. I wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I would have used the explosive shot on the guys on the left here. Again, did not notice the guys on the right. I only have half my headset on at this point because I'm talking to my daughter. So we're having a good time. She's playing her games. I'm playing mine. We're in the same room. All right, there we go. There is that taken out. Be careful of those boopy boys because they will hurt you. Grab this cannon over here on the right, so that way, or the Arc Cranium over here on the right side of the room, and take out those so you don't have to waste your heavy or any other time. You'll see here that only one of them will stay. The one that stays will allow you to pick it up, and then you can take the elevator. The first thing you want to do is destroy one of the blights here, so I'll just take out the first one, so that way the entire course doesn't have those blights anymore. Here you can use it if you right click for mouse and keyboard, or if you use your aim down sights button on console to zoom in. It kind of helps you shoot things. That I realized was an overload that I'm shooting at up there, so I stopped shooting at him. You can take out a lot of the annoying ads from here with the Arc Cranium. Again, I realized that is an overload, so I stopped shooting at him. I'm trying to see if anything else is going to push me. There's one of those grenades. All I see is like a little black dot. That's how I'm able to shoot him. There we go. We'll drop this, and then we'll go get on our vehicle. Now, you cannot do the skip in this if you are doing it solo. If you do the skip where I was just shooting those guys with the Arc Cranium, if you do that skip, it will bug out the elevator encounter, and you'll have to come back and redo this entire, vehicle section, this upward spiral section. So you might as well just go ahead and do it the first time and not have to come back. Even if you are doing it with 2 or 3 people, one person has to complete the entire this entire section in order to, one person has to do the entire section for the other 2 to be able to do the skip. I go ahead and stun the guy there. I'm not going to, or I do actually choose to focus him here. I thought I was going to pick up the Arc Cranium, but I saved that for the other guys. It's kind of like the Moon Battleground GM. These Taken Hobgoblins, the Overload Taken Hobgoblins, their weapon glows when they are about to shoot. So if you move out of the way in time, then it will not hit you, and you'll be good. See, kinetic tremors on those guys does like 4,700 damage a kinetic tremor. So it's just, no-brainer to use in my opinion. I absolutely love it. Got to reload. Hit that. We'll hit that one. We're going to go up the right side anyway, I believe. All right, grab the Arc Cranium. This is very important because, it's not very important. You can not use the Arc Cranium here. I use it just because it's easier and faster to take out. I'm trying to find out where the overload is. There's the overload on the left. So I'll go ahead and take that guy out. I made the overload mad, and this is why you want to keep these guys stunned, because they will just continue to fire that defensive volley at you. We stun him, he'll fire a volley, and then just headshot him with the Arc Cranium, and in one stun it takes him out. Here we're going to run into this grenade. We're going to back up just to explode it so that way it doesn't hurt us. Both guys are still alive up here on the left, so we're going to take out one of them, pick up the Arc Cranium so it doesn't despawn. You have to juggle these. Holy cow. You have to juggle the Arc Craniums, because if you don't pick them up after X amount of time, they will despawn. I wait for him to stop shooting me and make sure he's not going to move. So there we go. We swap. We stun him. I go back. I don't care about the his defensive swarm there. I just go ahead and tank it. I've already destroyed the Blight up here, the grenade on the right, so we jump up here. We're going to jump up. We're going to proc this Blight, and then we're going to back up a little bit, or I see ammo. I just run towards it. There is another Hobgoblin and Taken Hobgoblin, or Overload Taken Hobgoblin, up to our right. So I am going to there again, just talking to my daughter. Gonna take this guy. I hope that it stuns him. There we go. I see in the lower left that I stunned an Overload champion, and we were able to take out all 3 overloads with 1 Arc Cranium. So it's very easy as long as you do it the right way. I missed some of my shots. I could have had some Arc Cranium left, in my opinion, but there we go ahead and take out one of the snipers, and then we're going to run over here to the left and take out the other sniper, the Vandal that's out here on these little side pieces. They won't shield. Technically, you're not supposed to, I guess, like they're coding, you're not supposed to be able to see them, so they're not going to shield, but just take them out super fast. I thought I had an explosive round there. That's why I shot. We're full on heavy ammo. Gonna proc that grenade, and then we're gonna go forward and do the same thing here. We're gonna proc that grenade. Don't jump up to the right here. Like, jump up on the left side where I am, and then try and take out that guy as fast as you can. Again, those Blights will almost one-shot you, so do be careful. This part right here, I'm just gonna let you guys experience it. I'm just gonna shut up and let you guys experience what I experienced. So I'm like, all right, both bubbles down. Here we go. Dude. You ready? Bubble again. Oh my gosh. I was furious. I was like, all right, I want them to shoot at me. So I step out from behind cover. That's how you're going to stop them from spawning those bubbles. It's either shoot you or spawn the bubbles. And that's why they were just sitting there spawning the bubbles. It was horrible. But here, we're going to start it and then go up here left. Cheesy spot, super easy. We're going to jump, get up here, jump, get up here, jump across. All right. There are spots on top of this Blight that you can sit. See how I'm looking around? I'm like, all right, I can see both champions from here, but nothing can hit you. So watch the Hobgoblin, the Overload Taken Hobgoblin that we're shooting at now. We'll shoot one of those, one of his stasis shots at me, and it'll stop on the ball in front of me. They're aiming more center mass or at your feet. And see, there we go. It's not going to hurt me. Feel free to use this spot on both your solo runs, duo runs, trio runs, whatever. Show this to your friends. Super easy spot. Again, here, we're not going to get hit by anything. We're just going to take out the Hobgoblin. Kinetic Tremors is a very nice thing to have too, because you see there we just took out a Taken Acolyte with the Kinetic Tremors. And same thing with the other one. Yeah, 4,700 damage per kinetic tremor shot. And because the kinetic tremor is procced on a pulse rifle that is able to stun overloads, we were able to get that stun from the kinetic tremor off on the overload. Now, this first section, there's going to be like 6 to 8 of these Taken Acolytes that are void shielded. They are annoying. Those are the only guys that can shoot at you. They are arc damage. So do be careful about that. But once all of the Taken Acolytes are down, I realize there's one more. There's that guy. Once all of them are taken down, just you can go down there. The only other guys that are alive now are melee. So just you can grab the arc craniums, start taking out some of the blights. Don't take out 4. Only take out 3 at the beginning here, because you're going to get back to safety, then take out the 4th one. After you take out the 4th one, you know, the 3 ogres are going to spawn in. I realized, I was like, well, I'm not going to take out 4 yet. I should get up top. Be careful of those blights, because they will hurt. Wait for that one to go. I'm going to drop the old arc cranium and pick up this new one. I don't even worry about bringing an arc cranium up to the boss room. So use these, in my opinion, use these down here. And as long as you have good ad clear for the boss room, you don't need a cranium. Destroy the 4th one there. All of them are going to spawn in. I was like, you know what? Might as well, while we're waiting, destroy one, another one. These things just absolutely melt. The ogres do arc damage, and they more boop you than do damage. But be careful being up here, because they will boop you off the map pretty easily. I just W keyed that guy. I thought I was going off there, but I jumped forward. I can't see anything else, so I'm going to fall down here. For some reason, these thrall remind me of zombies. The way that they walk, you'll see, I think here in a little bit, I kind of stare at one. And that's exactly my thought, is I'm watching zombies right now. I also still only have one side of my headset on, so I can only hear stuff out my left ear, or in my left ear. So some of these guys I don't quite hear. Like, oh, sorry, I can hear things in my right ear, so that guy on the left I didn't hear. Wanted to make sure there was nothing else around me. I don't hear anything either. So we're going to go over here, take this guy out. Take that thrall out. That spawned there for some reason. I don't know why, but that's been taken out now. I drop the arc cranium and just go up. Again, I don't want to have to worry about living and juggling one of those arc craniums. So I don't. I just focus on living. Here, this final boss encounter is where having the double arc single void damage resistance mods are going to come in clutch. Or at least one of each. Because the boss can do arc and solar. And then there are a few other things that can do void. We're going to go this left side. I don't have a cranium, so I'm using an emote to third person around the corner. I'm just waiting for him to spawn in. I'm not going to well quite yet. I'm going to wait. Gonna wait. Stuff spawning in. Still waiting. All right. And getting ready. I can see the guy there. I'm trying to proc an ignition to stun that the champion there. These arc blights that blind you are extremely annoying. That is why I would suggest having 2 arc damage reductions on. But these Taken eyes, I realized that I'm not healing there, and then realized that the well went down. So just pay attention to your well if you're using this class. As long as you're moving perpendicular to the boss, they will not be that big of an issue. I take out those Centurions. Those are the things on this first phase of the boss. Those are the things that are shooting those Axiom darts. Take them out and you won't have to worry about the Axiom darts. Those Axiom darts, though, are why I'm running double void, because I've died to those things far too many times to be comfortable, and I just got tired of it. We'll take out that Centurion there. and then we're going to focus on the phalanx. Don't worry about the boss. I'm trying to position myself behind the wall you see on like the middle left side of my screen here. If the boss's eyeball can't see you, then he doesn't know where you are. So I'm just kind of hiding from the boss right now, trying to take out this phalanx as fast as possible. I don't want to do a finisher on him because I want to see if it will give me ammo. And then during this part, I realize, oh, an ignition took him out, not the weapon. So even though it's an ignition from the weapon, it's not the weapon kill itself. So that's how it doesn't find ammo. Here, you can make yourself radiant and then just shoot through the shields with Polaris Lance or even fixed odds. I do that a little bit. At this point, my daughter's watching me, and I'm kind of explaining a lot of this stuff, like what I'm doing, what the boss is doing, all that stuff, which is why I kind of take a few breathers. It's okay to take breathers. Don't feel obligated to get this done in a timely manner. Towards the end of the video, you'll see that darkness encroaches, and I don't have any reses left. You don't have any reses anyway if you're solo. So just get the completion, just get it done. Here we go. We're ugg-dugging them. We're radiant. Like here, I'm able to shoot through the shield because of radiant. I let solar holster start doing its job, reloading my weapons. I do wish the explosive shot from Polaris Lance went through the Hydra shields. It does not, unfortunately, but it'll go through other shields like Centurion shields and stuff like that. Here we go. All right, so this will honestly take a little bit. This is all pretty much what we're going to do. We're just going to be bouncing back and forth. If you move perpendicular from the boss, he will have a harder time shooting you. He will also continue to shoot those blights, the last seen location. So if you go around a corner, don't re-peek that same corner because these blights, those arc blights, are going to be shooting right at you. So yeah, I'll see you back here in a little bit. I'm going to fast forward this part. All right, this next section here, I realized that he's immune. I was just kind of lost in the sauce. A blight spawns on top of me. I'm going to go ahead and take it out real quick there. All right, here, I'm going to well. Again, it's just for taking out ads. That's all you really want to do with your wells. So you want to be able to take everything out because once everything is taken out, nothing else spawns in. I reload. I'm okay. I'm in my well. Just trying to get some ignitions off from these guys, from them spreading Scorch. I realize that there are more Thrall coming after me here. I'm still in my well. I'm a-okay. All right, well's down. I'm almost 3/4 to well. Kind of a... I probably didn't have to use well there, but why not and use it? Also, this section, take out all of the Minotaurs that have the Arc Craniums. Just go ahead and take them out. There's no sense in not... As long as you don't touch an Arc Cranium, they won't despawn. So you can use it for boss damage. You can use it for getting your super back. You can use it for so many different things. There, forgot the boss could see me. And so I almost died to the solar attacks from the boss. I'm just gonna jump up here, grab this. I just got my super back, but I'm gonna try and take these guys out as fast as I can. Then from here, we need to start taking out some of the blights. I can't do anything to the boss anyway. I'm just sitting here waiting for my health to regen. We're gonna take out the blights on the left first because that's gonna be our next well spot. I can't exactly remember how many blights that I can destroy before the boss moves, but there we go. As long as there's like 1 or 2 left, then they'll move. I well here. I pick the cranium back up because cranium damage gives you a lot of super back. Like I'm already halfway to my super and I still have 20 seconds on my well. So super good thing to use. Yes, the boss can see me here, but again, I'm in my well. I should not die. although I should not try to take the damage. I thought the overload spawned in. That's why I weld here. But the overload did not spawn in yet. As you'll see here, there's no overload. Once you destroy all the blights, then the overload will spawn in. I realized that, and I'm like, all right, well, I just wasted my super, so I need to grab this Art Cranium in order to take out the last blights and get my super back as soon as I possibly can, because, you know, well is going to be what saves us here. So I'm trying to see how much heavy ammo I have. I'm pretty good on heavy ammo, so we're going to go ahead and drop this. Once those walkways disappear, there is going to be these things that spawn in. This is from this point on. These axiom darts are going to be top priority. Take out these hobgoblins real quick. Yes, they have those, but again, if you move perpendicularly to a lot of these enemies, they will not hurt you. I thought I was falling off the map there. The healing grenade came in clutch. That guy fell down. I see the overload on my left, so I'm like, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. We're going to take this overload out as fast as we can. And then there's these shielded guys. There we go. I'm going to proc an explosive shot on this guy just so that way it does some damage. We're going to weaken him. I'm going to Ugdug him with the entire magazine, or I thought the entire magazine. I still got 10 seconds left on my well at this point, so I'm kind of chilling. I can't be frozen in my well. The hobgoblin's taken out, so that's, or the champion's taken out, so that is, you know, that's a very good thing to have done. We want to focus the champions, then the axiom darts if we are in our well. If we are not in our well, we want to focus those axiom darts first. The axiom darts do count as a precision hit with Polaris Lance, so remember that when you're trying to proc the ignitions or, you know, whatever you're trying to do damage-wise. Go ahead and pick up this other Art Cranium. Do some boss damage. We're also going to get our super back by doing so. Now that everything's taken out, it's a little bit the same as the first time that I fast forwarded the video. It's just there's a lot of it takes a lot of time. Go ahead and take those out so I don't have to worry about them. Wait for that to go over me, and then I'm going to jump up and try and get some damage in. I'm not radiant. There we go. All right, so we have our super. We're big chilling. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this because nothing special happens. Again, try to move perpendicular to the boss so that way he doesn't hit you. Use cover. Use radiant. I'll see you back here in a little bit. All right, now that the boss is almost dead, or, you know, not dead, but now that the boss is on the third and final phase, we're going to go left. There's going to be some little guys that spawn in over here to the left. We're just going to go ahead and take them out super fast. That way we don't have somebody flanking us. I see that guy walking around. I don't know which way he's going to be coming from. This one, there's not a champion yet. Again, you have to take out all of the blights, the blight shooters. It's just a bunch of thrall right now. This is why I say everything here is ad clear. I'm trying not to use my super here. I want to see if I can do this without having to use my super. I go over here to the right because it'll force them only to peek me on the left side, just like here. Because they have to go all the way around to the right, and they don't usually do that. They take the path of least resistance, which is to the left. I'm hearing something. You hear that? I didn't know what that sound was, and it's the boss, or it's those guys shooting the wall behind me. Had no idea that it made that sound. They're crouching. I can't hit their crit spot, so I'm just going to pop out and Ugdug them. There we go. Can't hit your crit? Fine. Meat heavy ammo. This Minotaur fell and didn't TP back up for some reason. So I you know, that's a blessing there, because there's an Art Cranium on the low ground that we can go get. Take out some of these blights. It's not, you know, imperative. We don't want to take them all out. We only want to take a few of them out, honestly. Take out the Minotaurs. Again, as long as we don't touch the Art Craniums, they won't go anywhere. They'll just fall to the ground when those platforms disappear. Now that all the blights are taken out, there's going to be the Unstop that spawns in. I go ahead and use the rest of the cranium that I have on one of the other guys there. Just focus the phalanx. I heard that Axiom Dart coming to my right, and I was like, I have to well. I have to, you know, take care of this stuff. These guys in front of me are an issue. The flinch is making it to where I can't really hit the boss that well, so, or the overload, or the champion, not overload. So I just take them all out. There we go. There we go. Just proc it on there. I thought it would destroy the other one that it was close to, but it did not do that. We don't have our super, but there's plenty of Art Craniums here. Again, move perpendicular to the boss. He will have a much harder time hitting you. Go ahead and proc an explosive shot on him, then take out the phalanx on the right, because that is another guy that, or not the phalanxes, but it's just another enemy that we have to worry about. I am still Radiant there. I should have kept shooting to re-proc Radiant or to keep it up, but I didn't. Stand way back here, take him out. There's these Axiom Darts are annoying. It's the boss that's shooting them. Go back right because I stun him. There we go. I know that's going to kill him, so there's that. Now there's just like one more phalanx, I believe, and the boss. And those Axiom Darts. I didn't see that one at first. Hindsight's 2020. I saw it this time, but in the moment I did not see it. I'm glad that I shot it. Not a super fast run, but it's not, you know, it doesn't matter in my opinion. The completion is what matters. If you die solo anyway, you go back to orbit. So there's no sense in doing it quickly. Just do it safely and get it done. I like doing it because I can prove to myself that I can do something like this. There's some heavy ammo. We're just going to go ahead and ugdug that guy down. We're going to slap our well down there. Now we're just going to focus on boss damage. Use this to take out some of those guys. Darkness has enveloped, but again, doesn't matter because if we die, we go back to orbit anyway. I'm going to sit here and use Well of Radiance to my advantage and just send some damage at the boss with the fixed odds. I'm going to hit a reload. Well is going to run out. I realize that, so I jump away. Make myself radiant again. There's another explosive shot. Shoot it at him, then get the other Axiom Dart. I get my super back, and I'm like, hey, there's a Art Cranium up on the left. We're just going to go mount the boss. Of course, keep moving around. Be careful of all of the explosive or those Axiom Darts. I lost track of them there. I'm going to put well down, pick up the cranium, and just lay into the boss with it. You can damage up top, but it's just, in my opinion, wastes ammo. I would just wait for his shields to rotate. There you go. There is the completion. Super easy. This final boss room, like I said, only has 2 champions or 3 champions, 2 overload or 2 unstops and an overload. Overloads, there's only 5 in this GM, and the rest are unstops. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, please. Make sure you subscribe to see future videos like this. And if you think this will help somebody, make sure you share it with them. I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you all in the next one.